Hey, beautiful people of the internet, my name is Ryan, and book review! I was gonna be as loud as possible, but then... Yep, I can actually hear the sound of my neighbors and roommates hating me. Disclaimer, today I'm going to be reviewing Welcome to Night Vale, a novel, and I'm going to do that in 3 parts. The basics about the book, the quality of the writing, and that age-old, ever-important question, should I trade my personal funds for the opportunity to hold this collection of paper and ink and to put it on my bookshelf? The book, which was written by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor, came out late last month and debuted at number 4 on the bestsellers list. Pretty good for the guys who created the Welcome to Night Vale podcast 3 years ago, which started off tiny and then became this wildly, crazily, insanely successful thing, as well as just plain wild and crazy and insane thing. Definitely crazy. The podcast and now the book are about a fictional city in the American desert where anything that you can imagine going wrong has actually already gone wrong. I would know. I was there, and so were you. You were sitting in the corner. You were so traumatized. You were crying for days and weeks, just crying and so emotional. And then the memory people came and erased our memories, and now it's just this vague hint of a thing that shows up in the back of our minds sometimes and makes us think, what was that? If you don't believe me, that's fine. I'd be lying to myself too if I were you. Hold up, time out. I spilled water on my shirt, which is how you know that we have a very high production thing going on right here. Okay, back to book review. In all seriousness, Night Vale is a place where strange things happen, where characters find out that large parts of their memory are missing and then they get parts of it back, and etc. But the book follows the 2 characters of Jackie and Diane as they try and track down this man they keep forgetting about and the city he keeps telling them about, which is called King City. Almost all of the characters from the podcast, like Cecil and Carlos and Dana, they're all there too. Okay, quality of the writing. Before we talk about the quality of the writing, we have to talk about our expectations of it. And since I am not you and I am only me, I can only speak about my expectations. I know I do a lot of quote-unquote literary fiction on this channel, and my personal life revolves around that genre too. But this book is not exactly a part of that. It's fantasy, kind of dark, kind of not. All that genre talk means is that this book doesn't have to cater to the sometimes deadly serious audience with sometimes stuffy expectations that sometimes happen in the literary genre. Okay, so first, what does this book do well? It's hilarious. You start reading a sentence that's going this way, and then all of a sudden the bottom drops out of it, and you're just like, what is happening? It's good writing, but it's great thinking, where suddenly everything is upside down, and you get to see the world in a new way, and then in a second and third new way. Is there anything wrong with the book? The plot is a little loose at times, the writing is not bulletproof, a few small things here or there, sure. Like any good book, it's got its weaknesses. But it's got some strengths that, at least in my opinion, make it worth it. And speaking of worth it, okay, should you spend your money on it? Yes. You don't need to have listened to the podcast. I repeat, you do not ever have to listen to the podcast. I would still buy this book, if not as a physical copy that you can put on your bookshelf, then maybe as an audiobook. I'm going to take a wild flying guess here and say that maybe the producers of this really high quality podcast hired the same voice actors to make a high quality audiobook because, well, maybe they're good at their jobs or something. They're like good at making stories out of sounds. Heck, I already own a physical copy, and I'm very close to going and buying the audiobook because I've heard snippets from it, and it is good. Okay, the distilled version of what I have said in the video today. Welcome to Night Vale is a novel unlike any other that you have read. It's hilarious, and it's twisty-turvy despite a few slip-ups, but it's a quick read that is either going to brighten your day or make you question your existence. Not like make you question whether your existence is worth anything, because to be fair, you should already be doing that. No, I'm saying make you question whether you do, in fact, exist like you think you do. It's a good book, and I would read it if I were you, which I am not, because of science or relativity or the government or something. That's all I've got for this week, Internet peeps. I will see you all next Monday, assuming that the world we inhabit is still an entity by next Monday, which is a thing you cannot assume in Night Vale. Best wishes. Hey, beautiful people of the internet, my name is Ryan, and dear October, I've got some things to say to you. I'm just out for a walk, and I started thinking about what October is like back in Indiana. Disclaimer, all hail the glow cloud. Disclaimer again, I can't believe I have 3 disclaimers in one video, but my life is a mess, and therefore so is my online life. Anyways, disclaimer. If you have a second, go to the Amazon page for this book and look at the customer reviews. The fans of this book and of the podcast are unlike any other people I've ever met on the internet. Okay, I'm actually done this time.